All right. Hello, Psoriasis Healing Warriors. I hope you are doing well and going into a relaxing, healing weekend. Maybe have something fun planned with your family or out in nature or with your dog, like me, my girlfriend, my dog. uh, so yeah, today this is a holiday weekend here in the States. It's Labor Day weekend. So in honor of Labor Day, I always like to give all warriors in here, wherever you're at on the spectrum of natural healing or taking your healing into your own hands. And in honor of Labor Day weekend, I just want to give you mad props for the hard work, the amount of effort it takes to carry this out. So it's an ongoing, takes an effort every day, and it is just it's a job on top of the job we have already in life. We have our families to take care of, we have our profession, and we have a lot to handle. And then you come into trying to heal psoriasis naturally or go about a diet change, and you're like, gosh, now I have to make all of this other effort. Like, now I have to bring in this whole other, just a whole body of work to heal my body. And how am I going to do this? How am I going to find the time or the money to do all this work? And what I can say from almost 10 years now of building my lifestyle around healing myself naturally and finding peace and love in my life is that the work becomes habitual. You build habits, and those habits take time, take weeks. I think the old adage is 14 days to break an old habit, start a new habit. That repetition every day is what builds the habit. And then there's a therapeutic nature to the process of changing the diet and eating, different foods, or cutting out some other things out of your life over time that have really been hurting you, that you've been validating to keep in your life. But now you're at this point where, well, my body's in this physical pain that's driven me to this rock bottom, however you want to, think of it. Now I have to work my way towards a new life, that, this, a life based on skills that I'm building. And over time, those skills, as you build them and the habits you set, really become second nature. And you don't feel like, oh, how am I supposed to fit all of this extra stuff in? It's more so therapy for you. That's kind of how I like to think of these talks here, as we do these once a week, or it's just a group therapy, warrior wisdom, a tribe talk. It's talking to the other warriors out there who have to do this work. The whole world is if they're not dealing with a chronic condition and trying to take their own responsibility, raise their own awareness, not doing any of their own work, it's hard to relate to, a life that's built around efforts for the body and the mind and the soul as very important. And those skills come over time, and psoriasis has been the biggest challenge I've ever faced. What I used to think about back when I was getting close to my rock bottom in 2011, all over my body, is up until that point, I was taking, steroids and medications and ignoring myself all the time, just ignoring it, hiding it, shunning myself, and but not doing any of the work. Not doing any work. I was doing a lot of complaining, and I was doing a lot of reactionary feelings to it, and there was a lot of fear. There's still a fear there that I work on every day. But at that time, it was insurmountable. And I just remember keep telling myself up to that point, well, when I get to a certain point and I make enough money in my profession that I was spending all of my time on. I don't have any time and money for healing psoriasis. I was doing my company and my job, for hours a day, 10 hours a day. And I was like, well, when I get, build some wealth in my company and what I'm doing here, then I'll have the time and the space. Then in the future, at some point, I'll have the time and the space and the money to go all in on the natural healing psoriasis. That's how I was. I was just make it or break it, very absolute, have to do everything 120% correct. But I keep putting myself off because of that idea, that mentality, instead of tripping in and trying some things and just a step and a step and a step, adding one thing. So then psoriasis got so bad physically that I couldn't do the work anymore. I couldn't work on my company. I couldn't sit at my computer. It forced my hand, and that's kind of like rock bottom. So I just appreciate those of us out there, us warriors who are going through hell. And it's not just psoriasis we're dealing with, many of us are also dealing with other chronic pain, internal chronic pain, mystery conditions with our liver, other organs in our body, IBS, IBD, swelling, bloating, constipation, colitis, cirrhosis, all these terrible things. And what I can say is that the work that you put in here to heal yourself naturally, to follow a new diet, to change your lifestyle, to start juicing, start drinking more water, that helps the whole body heal from many conditions, many ailments, and many things that the body goes through quietly before it starts to scream through the skin. So for us in here with psoriasis, we have to help, we have to help our skin. Or we have to help ourselves, and we measure our progress on the skin. So it becomes this, when you're going into natural healing, it becomes this battle of, well, I'm trying these new things. So how long do I have to try them? How long do I have to do this before I see results? And then you do these new diet changes, and then things get worse, and you're concerned that, well, it must be these new things I've added. So then you start to get very skeptical of what you've added, and you start to analyze this and that. And this is a good process to do an elimination, to an elimination diet. But I'm more so focused on an addition diet. And what I've learned in my process is that when I add foods, I have to stick to it. I have to stick to the work. And the work is enough. What I'm doing is enough. That helps my mind kind of stay present with the efforts I'm making, as opposed to jumping into the future and saying, well, how long do I have to keep doing this for? When the mind's running off into the future and making that connection of, well, what's the outcome going to be? What's the outcome based on my expectation, then it does feel like work. What you're doing to help yourself, the changes you're making do feel like work, because you're trying to apply a deadline. And we're really conditioned to work that way. We work well that way. We work well under pressure. We work well with deadlines. We work well when we set goals. And that's all good. But with this healing process, this is a new mystery that you're jumping into, whether you've been doing it for a while or you're continuing to improve, continuing to add things. It's a mystery you're jumping into, and it's hard to draw the map all the way into the future to say, well, this is where it's going. So what I found is really helpful is that I just have kind of over time fallen in love with the process of the things that I do, more so than saying, well, I juice celery because it's the main thing, way I heal psoriasis. Now it's more so, well, I juice celery because I feel very good after I drink it. I've had so much improvement internally with my stomach and my digestion and my energy levels. And so it's not just about, well, I juice the celery to clear my skin up. It's a process that I get lost in. So I make my time for it in the morning. Of course, I make some time. I've, made some time, gotten up on a certain schedule. If I have to get to work at 9, to create a little more time in the morning, or I find how it fits into my afternoon or sometimes after work. And then I strive to do juicing and these things as many days as I can. It's not about, oh, I got to do this every day, 7 days a week. If I have a fresh juice 4 or 5 days out of the 7-day week, that's great. That's victory. That's the way new habits are built. They're built piece by piece, not platform by platform. You know, it's each board building the platform that you're standing on now. This new foundation, these fundamental principles that you're standing on now, these take work, and they come through iteration. So, you know, you don't gain it all one day and then know the answer. You gain in an iteration. You still have your old habits and you still have your life, you know, and this is kind of working on a new mentality. So that's what I like to do with these warrior wisdom talks, is share lots of perspectives of other warriors. And today I'm going to bring on Steven Danza. He's a moderator in the group. You might have seen him commenting before or answering your question. And there he is.
Hey.
Hey, Steve. Hey, thanks for joining me today.
How's that?
Yeah, that's good, man. Cool, man. So Steve, just to kind of give everybody an idea, like when did you kind of come into the Psoriasis Healing Warriors group? I mean, how many years have you been working on your diet? Like, how many years have you been working on your warrior life?
I started like to find the group after I first was on Humira, and I was like, after I was on Humira for a year and a half, I was like, I went to search on Facebook, and I was like, I have to find something better than a drug. I said, there's got to be a way to heal naturally without being on a drug.
Yeah.
Because the Humira was making me depressed, and hearing the side effects of the drug and the cancer. And I said, all right. So I found psoriasis. I found Overcoming Psoriasis. First, I found the group Overcome Psoriasis was another group. I said, wait a minute. So I was in that group for like maybe 6 months. You know what? They were healing, but they were using medication. They were using creams. There's got to be another way to find another group where you can do it naturally, organically. And then I came across, thank God, Matt Ludwig's Psoriasis for Warrior group. So I was like, I kept on searching. I said, I can't be overcome psoriasis. I want to be healed from psoriasis. I don't want to be overcoming it. Yeah. Overcome psoriasis wasn't good enough for me. No.
Yeah.
So
cool, man.
Then that started, and then I just kept on following the protocol, and started with my celery juice. You know, let's just say organic lemon juice, 16 ounce a day with like a liter a day of let's say 1 liter of lemon water a day. And I started with my 16 ounces of celery juice right after, like 15, 20 minutes after that. Onto the probiotics too, because Matt found the probiotics from Ozana, Texas.
Yeah, those are great probiotics. I mean, those are the ones that when I do take them, those are the ones I take. I don't take them all the time, but yeah, those are great.
Yeah, but however, that was phase 1. But it turns out that probiotics helped me heal the first time, but probiotics I find doesn't care the good bacteria, the bad bacteria. The bad bacteria don't care about the good bacteria, so it really doesn't help for the long term.
Yeah,
it may help you go to the bathroom, help your digestion wise. That's all it does, because what kills viruses, what kills bugs, what kills worms, what kills everything in your body is celery juice, aka Anthony medical medium Anthony William, coming from him.
Yeah. Celery juicing comes from Anthony William at Medical Medium. I've so just a little bit of I was working on my natural healing practice, doing great. I've from about 2012 to 2015 had great results. My skin cleared pretty much 100%,
Yeah.
and then it came back really bad, spread out really bad all over my body, and I needed. That's when I really needed more. The group at that time was growing, and I needed to keep going back to the drawing board and expanding on revising what I was eating and how I was, adding more literature, more books. And that's when I came across Anthony William. His first book was called Medical Medium in February 2016. It was actually, of course, it was shared through Psoriasis Healing Warriors by another warrior. Said, "Hey, look at this book. It's kind of profound and groundbreaking." And so and then his book since then, his second book was called Life Changing Foods, and that was the book that I really rebuilt my practice on. And the main thing was, I was already juicing at the time, but he said to focus on just celery for its components and let the body use the celery on its own instead of bringing in lots of different things at once. And I've been juicing celery now for 2016, five plus years.
Yeah, I guess.
And it's been great.
I say, yeah. I'm trying to think when I came onto the group. You remember when I came?
That's what I was curious. That's what I was curious because, like, my question for you is, I kind of, it's twofold question. So think about that, and maybe this will help you lock in on that. Is how long were you battling psoriasis? In general, had you been in your whole life, or?
Let me say, yes, since I'm now 51.
Yeah.
So I started my late 20s, early 30s. It'll be like layers of psoriasis thick with no comparison now. Mine's thin now.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that difference. Yeah.
Going back then, my parents would be like, God will, they're in heaven right now. They're like, what the hell is that on your skin? I'm like, I'm like a teenager in my 20s, 30s, partying, eating, drinking. I didn't care. I was like, it's just dry skin, no big deal. So turns out that the dry skin was so thick that it was like the psoriasis, the hair was all over my bedroom. Was like my mother would be like vacuuming up dead skin all over my room, be like all over my sheets. Was like, so like, oh my God, my mother would be like, what the hell? You gotta go do something, Oh, it's only dry skin. Who cares?
I was mentioning that a little bit about right before you jumped on. I was like, back then, before I was a healing warrior working on my practice, I was ignoring myself. So for me to sit there and watch a movie and peel skin off my body, I wasn't even paying attention to it at all. I was just letting it drop. I didn't know what it scared me. It frightened me to death, and I just responded with ignorance. And I was like, oh, whatever. So it was my family who started picking up on it a little bit, and they didn't want to, be rude or embarrass me, but eventually, like, hey man, you got to pay attention to this. And that's when I started doing medications. Like, all right, fine, I'll go to I had been to the dermatologist before, and I had already had the steroid creams. I just weren't using them all the time. I was using them on certain parts of my body, and it was spreading really quick, and I just couldn't get in front of it. And it scared me, and I just didn't know what to do. And that was 10 years. That was my whole 20s, like you said. And I was just partying, and I just wanted to hide it and get it out of the way so I could get back to doing whatever the hell I was doing.
No, but I started going, and then I got married. My wife's like, you got to start going you got to go to a dermatologist. I said, you got to go to a rheumatologist. She said, no, you need a rheumatologist. I said, babe, I've been to a dermatologist for years. I didn't know. Before I found your group, before I found Omicron psoriasis, I'll go to a rheumatologist. You know what? Same thing, because they're like, oh, we got to give you, you have to be on Humira, and you have to take Methotrexate. My husband, the doctor at the time, was a nice doctor, but then they changed to another doctor. She told me, my husband's on Methotrexate and Humira, and he's healing fine. He's doing great. I said, well, after your husband, I don't give a crap. I don't want to be on. I'm not going to be on. I don't want to be on it anymore.
I did Methotrexate. Yeah, I did. The steroids stopped. They were not working, but I was kept using more and more of them to try and get them to work. But I was, they were making it spread everywhere. And then a doctor where I was at, he suggested Methotrexate, and I did that, and that drug really hurt me bad. So
Yeah.
That's when I finally, that was really close to rock bottom was at that point. I was about 29 years old,
Yeah.
30 years old. I couldn't really get out of bed. I had no energy, and my back hurt when the methotrexate, because it was hurting my kidneys so bad. And that's when I was like, finally, like, Matt, man, what are you doing here? Like, are you taking an active role at all, or are you just angry at the doctors and mad that they give you a drug that hurts you? They're
Yeah.
just they're just doing their thing to try and help you, but what are you doing? What's your thing? You know, that's kind of where my rock bottom was to
Exactly. Yeah.
even
Yeah.
think about, not even, I wasn't even at the diet changing part yet, just to think about, can I take any action here? You know, what can I do? You know, you feel like you're afraid of it, but you're victimizing yourself, but you're also the
It makes you feel.
aggressor. Yeah.
Makes you feel. It made me feel depressed and more aggressive. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Mentally, physically, and
So
basically.
so through 20 years of just, here it is, and I'm just living my life, and then you I'm sure you went through topical steroids, and
Yeah.
then you were on Humira for a year and a half. I didn't know how long you were on that.
Yeah. So that ruined my whole gut. Yeah. My whole intestinals and everything.
So when you were deciding to stop Humira, did you stop that over time, or did you stop it kind of at cold turkey, or?
Yeah. I just changed my doctor. I didn't like this doctor. Like I said, this doctor's like, oh, you have to come and help heal my husband. And you know what? I have to come there, check my liver every 3 to 6 months. And you know what? I'm tired of going to these damn doctors. There's got to be another way to do it naturally. And then that's when I
Yeah,
came across the group.
I think you came around probably
2000,
maybe 2016, like 5 years
yeah,
ago.
right.
About
That's what I
five.
started. Right, I started with juicing. Yeah,
Yeah, and when Steve mentions he started the protocol, the protocol is basically it's a free guide that I offer if you're interested in checking it out. You can go to
yeah.
phwarrior.com. There's a button there you can click on, get my guide, and
Yeah.
I lay out the protocol in there that Steve and I are talking about, just so you have for warriors have a frame of reference what we're
I
chatting
have it.
about. So
Right, I have it on one of my notes.
let's talk about a little bit about, you at the beginning there. So you're joining the group, you're reading through the
Right.
guide, and you're trying to decide how can I start this? So did you just wake up one day and say, okay, I'm doing all of this today and I'm doing it every day? Or did you add one thing at a time? You're like, hey, I'm going to try and do this lemon water first and see how that goes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right. The lemon water was
and what time of
clean.
your day do you work it in? Do you work it in the morning before you go to work? What time do you go to work? Like, that's good for people to understand how they
On my
can.
start time, it all starts with your job, what type of job you got. Well, my job is to being a bus driver. Well, bus drivers, truck drivers, whoever's a truck driver out there, you inhaling all these chemicals and metals. For
Lots of
me, I work
fuel. Yeah.
fuels. I'm a long-time driver and a custodian working in the schools, dealing with all the chemicals. And I'm up 3 o'clock in the morning to start my protocol. It's Matt Ludwig protocol or Anthony William
It's
medical meeting
yours, man.
protocol.
It's your that's Steven Danza's protocol is what it is.
That's,
That's your
that's my
warrior practice. Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
that's my warrior practice. I have to be up.
Yeah. We just happen to do some of the same things.
Yeah, so I got to be up to do my celery juice. Wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Now I'm on to 32 ounces of celery juice, where 60. Oh, I was on 16 ounces first. First,
Yeah.
first started juicing. It helped out the 16 ounces, but while I was doing that with the probiotics, that's phase one. Now I'm on phase two. So I thought now I'm off the probiotics. I get more results with drinking my celery juice, 16 ounces, 20 ounces, whatever. Sorry, lemon water, and I wait 10, 15 minutes, and then I do my
So
celery. I
okay, so
mean,
you get up
I have
and
to
you do
clam, I have to
first your.
clam, I have
Go
to
ahead.
clam everything. I'm sorry to interrupt you, man.
No, you're fine.
So I have to jam everything in because I'm like on a time schedule. All right, I got to be at work at 6 a.m. Let me get, you know what? Let me get all this stuff done. Yeah, get everything done. Well, I don't have time to wait 10 minutes. I just wait 10 minutes in between, 15 minutes the most.
So you get up and you drink some lemon water when you get
Yep.
up, and then you wait
Yeah.
about 10, 15. Well, you're getting your juicer ready. So as you're waiting 10, 15 minutes, you're prepping the celery, you're washing it off.
Well, no, I'm not doing that. I should show you that. At 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I don't got time for juicing. Juicing itself.
Yeah.
I have it.
You've already done it the night before.
Yeah. I
Oh,
just show
okay.
you my stuff. Let me just bring it to the freezer.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
in the fr-
Yeah, show us.
I'll defrost it. Here's my heavy metal detox, like in the cold water.
Oh, okay.
Heavy
So
metal.
you've frozen that.
Yeah. That's,
Oh, all right.
So I got. Here's my celery juice. That's
Oh,
my
all
old
right.
best. So I defrost it. All right, just 30 ounces right here,
Yeah.
and it's ready to drink. I drink it through the straw. So these are my. I'm out in the morning. I'm cleansing right away. That's my cleanse.
Oh,
And
okay.
again,
So yeah, that's interesting. So
my wild
you.
berries. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
That's my thing. I have no way I have time to be juicing, setting up a juicer, and go to work. At the same time, like, oh, my wife
All
would be
right,
like killing.
so that's a creative strategy there. So you prep your juices on a weekend or when you do have
Yeah.
time. You freeze them.
Right.
You freeze them right away after you juice it, which is totally
And
fine. Flash freeze it.
right, defrosted.
So
You
how long
get
does it take
the
to defrost? Do you pull one out like the night before and it's ready in the morning or something, or is
yeah.
it
Come home from work,
okay?
take my celery juice out the night before, and it's defrosted it's ready for the next day. So,
All right.
and I don't lose the nutrients because as soon as I make it, it's in the freezer, defrost in my stomach, and and I get the mineral salts right down the mineral salts goes right to your stomach, where I feel the salt, and I feel the healing coming on. Where if I waited a day or two for that to frost, the nutrients gonna be dead, be gone, almost not gone, but you're not gonna get the right nutrients in your body.
Yeah, yeah. You want to juicing fresh or flash freezing right after you
Yeah,
juice is fine, but yeah, you don't want to let it sit too long. You want it to oxidize. You want to get that stuff in you because you've already torn it apart. When you're
yeah,
juicing or when you're making a smoothie or you shredded it up. So but that's cool though. That's because I've never done that. I've frozen it and had them ready to roll like that. So the smoothie you just take out frozen in the morning, and by the time you eat it for lunch, or
yeah.
you eat it on your way to work, it's ready to roll. It's kind of thawed
Yeah,
out
I
a little
might
bit.
do. I might take half the heavy metal detox to work. That way, do my business. I feel great. I don't need it. It's like my coffee.
Yeah.
Do and I'm gonna add my blueberries in, wild blueberries, um, which is awesome. Gets the metals out of your body, out of your brain.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
have a
Wild
headache,
blueberries are the base.
yeah, yeah, you have your heavy. You get a heavy. If you have a headache or anything like that, that could be, anybody. That could be tired. You could be tired. It could be a migraine, or it could be metals in your body, in your head. That causes. That's why. That's where you get. That's why people get a lot of headaches. Because you
Yeah,
get all those chemicals in your head. I don't feel it.
yeah,
I used to get more of a headache if I had too much coffee. My thing was always coffee with hazelnut, and after that I was like crashing.
yeah.
I was exhausted, and I had a headache. I had a hangover from the coffee.
And I think we were chatting the other day. You mentioned that have you stopped pretty much drinking coffee?
Right, no
Okay.
cold turkey and coffee. No vinegar because key to healing is in your teeth, in your mouth.
Hmm.
And I started off with a lot of cavities and
Yeah.
crowns. Now my teeth are like really strong because the lemon water provides calcium to your teeth. And I'm
Yeah,
not
and
taking,
that's one thing I want to mention. That lemon water is, and it's got vitamin C. It cleans your gums,
uh,
and
uh,
I know that it's popular, very general dentist advice to not drink too much lemon water because it's bad for your teeth. I drink it every day. I mean,
yeah,
I don't swish it around in my mouth or anything, but I drink it down every day. You can use a stainless steel straw that you can reuse. If you want to, I've done that too for good bits of time where I just slurp it through my lemon water through a straw too.
really.
Uh,
What do you get one of those?
you can get I got a little set of stainless steel straws off Amazon that they give you a little brush that fits through them to clean them with. And those are cool.
uh,
Yeah, those are very
uh,
useful. Those are useful for any drinks that you like. But if you are concerned with your teeth and lemon water, then you can use one of these straws, and you can get it, shoot it down your throat a little more
Oh no,
directly and not have it.
I have a regular straw, but according
Yeah.
to going back to the medical medium, Anthony Williams, lemon water is great, and the oranges are great for your teeth. So it doesn't hurt your teeth at all.
Yeah. Yeah. The vitamin C in citrus fruits, and a lot of times citrus fruits spark off allergy tests and
Yeah.
things like that. And I think that's because they're so good at knocking out
Well,
overloads of bacteria and byproduct and endotoxin that can spark a test. I'm really big on trying to bring citrus in if you can. If it's sometimes they're just not strong enough for it yet. The lemon water is just too powerful. You get your gut doesn't feel good, or you get discomfort. But work up to it then. But lemon water in the morning, and then squeezing a little lemon in your herbal tea if you want, or a lime is nice. Let's compare our smoothie ingredients a little bit. See how my smoothie is my wild blueberries. I put in 1 orange. I put in 1 banana. I put in
heavy metal detox, you mean?
Yeah, well, I'm just giving you my ingredients, and you can compare yours. Let me see if I'm missing anything for mine. But there's the blueberries. I got a banana in there. I got an orange in there. I got a handful of cilantro or coriander, however you call it, cilantro in there. I'm putting a teaspoon of my spirulina powder in. I'm putting a teaspoon of the barley grass juice powder in there, and then a tablespoon or a lot of like Atlantic dulse, the seaweed flakes. I get those in there. That's pretty much the baseline of what I put in, and I'll add other stuff too to that. But those are the important ingredients. What do you think?
I had on top of that, I had the orange and two bananas.
You do 2 bananas, so I do 1 orange and 1 banana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had 2 cups of blueberries, 1 cup of cilantro, 1 teaspoon of the spirulina and all juice grass. Dates, I had like 2-3 dates of mine.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm going full blast. I might add some. I don't care. I'm going full blast. I'm going full throttle.
Full blast, baby.
Full throttle to the finish line. That's all I got. And I use then I'll use like parsley. Parsley gets kill the copper. But heavy metal detox takes out all the metals. But I want to heighten my heavy metal detox, make it strong. I know when I clean out. No, I clean out. My body cleans out. My body cleans out a lot.
Yeah.
Get everything out. I know everything's coming out good. Easy. No problems at all.
Well, that's what the body has to do. It's been, the skin's been helping out with a chronic condition. There's something going on in the body, some sort of infection, some sort of heavy metal stuck in the liver, some kind of poisons and pathogen mixture that the liver can't handle on its own. So nutrients in, which is what medical medium's main focus is, like using specific fruits, vegetables, wild foods, and herbs to help the body with this binding and eliminating process. That's what spirulina really helps with. It helps bind and eliminate some of the heavier toxins out of the liver, brings them out of the body. And so that's why we use some of these specific foods that we throw in our smoothie. The smoothie is a great place to throw it all in because you blend it all together and it tastes delicious. And you get all these important building blocks and elimination blocks in the body. So smoothie's great for that, and so is a salad before dinner. Is my salad is kind of, I call it my garbage can, because I'm throwing everything on it that I need in there. I'm throwing the radishes on there. I'm throwing the cucumbers on there. I'm throwing more of the seaweed dulse flakes in there, and then making it yummy with some Italian seasonings. But these are all the important foods that taste good, like chopped up minced garlic in there. And
I have that in my spinach soup.
Oh, that's nice. You do a spinach soup, huh? Is that what do you do for a broth and stuff for that?
Straight spinach, spinach, tomato, and celery, garlic.
Oh, tomato! I heard a nightshade in there. You better be careful.
I ain't worried about that. Tomatoes are good for you.
They are. They
Yeah,
are. I do want to speak to Nightshades really quick. Now when it comes to sometimes when a warrior's starting out and your gut's really unhealthy and the stomach's really weak and
yeah,
and if you eat like potatoes, white potatoes, how you prepare them is important. I think organic is important with potatoes because they're in the ground. And I think that my honest assessment is that the real nightshades are all the pesticides and sprays that we squeeze out. That's sprayed a lot of on conventional. They're used on organic too, but
yeah,
organically grown has to go through some more accreditations and review and what they do use for that. But poor potatoes sit in the ground, soak all those pesticides up, and then we have to deal with that chemical.
right.
But some nightshades in your diet, I can't stand that name. It just those poor vegetables, it's got like
Yeah,
they got such a bad rap.
I always thought potatoes I had to be worried about. And it's like, you're looking at your skin, and then I look at my skin. It's like, no, I eat plenty of potatoes. The potatoes have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I think they're helpful. I think a potato is helpful. I think it's an antimicrobial food. So if you're dealing with
Yeah,
an overgrowth of pathogens and bad bacteria, then the potato is going to knock some of that out. And that doesn't always feel good. You have discomfort when you go through that, when you go through that. But
yeah,
now I don't have, now I'm at a level where, yes, I'm still working through the causes that are driving the psoriasis all over my body, but I don't have any gut issues. Do you have any gut issues now, or did you have like any kind of internal digestive issues? I guess I should ask, did you have any before you started healing? But your gut and your digestive system's working good now. Strong stomach. So
yeah, yeah. You can know, right? Sometimes if you have extra fiber in your body diet, it might make me go to the bathroom. But that's
yeah,
normal. But my digestion is pretty good. Yeah. When
yeah,
I first started with the lemon water, yeah, it gives you constantly diarrhea. When I first started off with lemon juice, constantly. I had so much bacteria in my body.
yeah. That's really common. A lot of warriors I work with go through that.
I
I
used to
went
think
through
I would
that.
talk.
So
I would call you up and say, "Hey, man, why am I having so much of this loose stool?"
yeah, I
I,
remember
I,
that.
Remember I call you up in the beginning? So no, you eliminate the toxins in your body. They need to get out of your body. It's a toxins over 30 years of stuff in your body,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
more, or better.
Yeah, exactly. It
Because
could be decades and decades of backed up
when you
toxins in there that
start
need to
with
come
this
out.
you start this new regimen of lemon water, and you go into celery juice, fruit. Your body's never used to having that, and your body's
Yeah,
used to having burgers,
processed.
pizzas, processed
Yeah.
food. So you start the lemon water, that's it. You gotta clean your body's gonna clean out. So it might take a couple of months, it might take 6 months to clear out.
Yeah, and
That's it.
that could be uncomfortable throughout that process. You could have diarrhea,
Yeah, it
you
was
could have constipation, you could have stomach pains, you could discomfort.
yeah,
And if a warrior who's starting out does have that, then just start with a little less. You don't have to do
yeah,
16 ounces of lemon water. Start with 10 ounces. Start with a little bit, and let your
right,
body acclimate to that. You can't just say, "Hey, body, okay, now we're gonna do this new diet, new life." Your body has to transform. It's got to rebuild
yeah.
itself, and that process is chaotic. And then the
But
skin skin condition can be chaotic too throughout that time.
but people should know what you guys want to know what you should be eating after your lemon water and your celery juice. It's very important. I'm healing.
Yeah,
What after what do you want to know? I'll let you know what I ate afterwards. I always eat fruit, wild berries, banana, apple. Apple's very good. Apples.
yeah. Apples is the most important food for me in the
You
morning is eating
wanna
an
you can't
apple.
go in you can't go into hemp seed. You can't go into oatmeal right after juicing or your lemon water. Because you go right into fats, you're defeating their purpose. I learned that you really go backwards because then you're getting everything out of your body, but then you put fats back in, you're not going to heal. Take the
In the
butt.
morning, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So you have to add your fruits in. Wild berries are very important. Apples, bananas. Lunchtime could be like salad, wild salmon. I brought wild salmon to work. I'm on the
okay.
go
So
all
that's
the
what you
time.
do. That's what you do for lunch. You take the wild salmon salad.
Wild salmon with sweet potato.
And
I
some
take
sweet potato.
a
Nice.
little arugula salad, in my little
Nice.
radishes there,
Yeah. And you have
Yeah,
some salmon, so you bring in some protein, some fat there, some good
right,
fat.
right.
Yeah.
That helped me heal a lot. Then I come home and have my Brussels sprouts, sweet potato again. More sweet potatoes is better.
Yeah. Sweet
Um,
potato is an important food.
Brussels sprouts, sweet potato. Asparagus is very good for the liver.
Yeah.
Asparagus,
Asparagus and Brussels sprouts are awesome. Steamed. You steam them up.
yeah, steam them up with lemon juice. Yep, my
Oh,
wife.
nice.
Thankfully, my wife does all that. Puts it all together for me.
Yeah. Thankfully
She's
for
like,
you.
she said, what are you doing? Ah, you having vegetables again? You've been doing that for the last 10 days.
You're a freaking rabbit.
I
I'm married to a rabbit. That's funny.
said, I said, you have enough. You did enough with the vegetables. Have a little
Yeah.
chicken.
Yeah.
So after like 10, 15 days, after 10, 15 days, I see my skin healing tremendously.
Yeah.
So there's not much fat in there. I add like a Lara bar in there. Lara bars with dates,
Yeah,
almonds.
Lara bars I like. LARA bars. Those are
Lara
just
bars.
4 or 5 ingredients, mainly dates. You get some almonds or cashews. They do a lot of yummy different fruits in there.
Yeah,
I like those. Are great for on the go bars with no natural flavors, no citric acid, anything like that. They're just simple
yes.
ingredients. So
Right.
I
So
like
hard. Yeah.
those.
Right.
I like
So hard.
those. That's the other thing I like about fruit is that fruit you can take to your office, you can take it on the road, you can keep it in your car, you just wash it at home and take it with you. And bananas will last a few days where no matter where you put them, and apples last for weeks, no matter where you put them. Of course,
Yeah.
anything with a rind like oranges or things like that will last a while. So they're easy to eat. And as far as sugar, I'm not concerned with the macro sugar conversation with fruit because the body understands
Yeah.
how to break down the whole fruit into glucose, which all I can say is that 3 years before eating fruit, I had a lot of results. I got good results when I was eating no fruit other than an apple. I was juicing into my vegetable juice to make it palatable, make it taste all right. I
Yeah.
needed that back in the day. When you're first starting out, you kind of need that to help your tongue, your taste buds for a while. But I plateaued, and then psoriasis came back worse, and I realized I had to go much deeper in my body, and fruit has taken me on that deeper journey. It's just the phytochemicals, the antioxidants, the pectin in apples. There's many
Yeah.
nutrients in fruits that what I say is that you're missing all the micronutrients when you're focused on the macronutrient. Like, well, I don't need no sugar. So no processed sugar. Wait a minute. How did fruit get thrown into that conversation with processed sugar and candy bars? It's not fair to fruit. It's
That's
not that. It's completely different. And it gets
yeah.
thrown in the same basket and said no to all of that. And when you say no to fruit, you're saying no to just a multitude of very, very helpful nutrients that the body knows how to use that other foods just simply don't provide. And the glucose, I've just never felt better. I've never slept better. My energy is excellent all
Yeah.
day. I used to have crashes when I was doing just vegetables and just
Yeah.
vegetable
No.
juicing. And now
So,
I'm vibrant all morning, all night, all day, and I sleep well. So
right.
fruit's just magic food.
So it's the natural sugars because I have fruit. I have fruit at work too. But
And John mentioned melons too. I do want to mention cantaloupe and watermelon. You can still
yeah.
up in the northern hemisphere here, you can still get watermelon. I eat that. I sprinkle spirulina and the barley grass juice powder onto the watermelon and the cantaloupe and munch that down. It's a great way to get in. Um,
Yeah.
and
Oh, what?
grapes, munching on grapes, munching on cherries. If it's good, you can mono eat fruit too. You eat an apple here and that kind of fills you up. Apples are pretty kind of big. And then you eat a banana and a little bit later that fills you up for about a half hour, and then you're hungry again. Then maybe you eat some cherries and grapes. That's a good way to do fruits, is kind of to
Watermelon.
mono eat them.
Watermelon's very good too.
Yeah, to eat a chunk, some chunks of watermelon.
Nice.
Excellent vitamin C, helps your kidneys a lot. Watermelon helps your kidneys a lot.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like, and I'll stand on this, is don't fear the fruit sugar. Don't reject
No.
fruit from your life simply because, well, I'm doing no sugar. It's an important food group.
Yeah,
It's
that's
absolutely
natural.
important.
There's a difference between sugar. That's natural sugar. and refined sugar. You don't
Yeah.
want natural sugar is the best way to heal your body, which is the fruits.
And run your body, run your brain, run your nervous system,
It helps your
your
body.
endocrine glands, your adrenal glands, right? Your little glands that help you
Yeah.
help your mood and help you stay balanced and release hormones. And you know, and just fruit's just great for all that. So that's kind of how my day breaks down. Is it's fruit grazing, fruit in my smoothie. After the liquid that we already talked about. Do our liquid stuff in the morning, give her some water, do some juice, do an herbal tea if you like, that kind of thing. I like herbal teas. That's kind of how I'm trying to move coffee out of my day. I'm having less days with coffee, more days with herbal tea. And I was telling you the other day about some chaga mushroom powder. That actually kind of tastes like coffee. I've been putting some chaga mushroom powder in hot water and stirring that up and steeping it. And it kind of has a nice earthy coffee flavor. So I'm kind of finding some substitutes to I can't do everything cold turkey like you. You're crazy. So, you know.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about like you've been keeping a journal lately, right? You've been starting to write some stuff down. You talking a little bit about that? That's good. That's good.
I have my notebook. Yeah, my notebook and journal. Everything I've done or positive. You write positive thoughts down. Like your body's gonna heal. You need time, but you will heal. That's all right. I'm definitely gonna heal, and I know I healed before.
Yeah.
100%. I healed before.
Yeah. So let's talk about that real quick. When you see you healed before, and you mentioned earlier you're in phase 2 now. And this is something I talk about a lot because I've been going through phases of healing myself. I'm in my third phase still. And so phase 1 for you is you started.
Here's the dog saying hello.
Hey, puppy.
Gussie.
What's your puppy's name again?
Gus, say hey, Gus. He can hear you. Gussie, come here.
There we go.
There we go. This is a golden retriever, yeah.
Oh yeah, because my dog's a rescue, but she's got a lot of retriever in her, so she has that same kind of face going on. I don't know if I'll get her to come in here. So I'll see if I can get her to come in. I've already fed her breakfast, so she doesn't need me anymore right now.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you go out.
There she is. Let's see if we can get her. I'm on my laptop, so I can't really move my. So, come here, sweetie. Hold on. Come here. Oh, there she is. Hello. Hello. Yeah, she's got a lot of golden in her.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I was sleeping so comfortably.
Gussie. I gotta give him a treat.
Yeah, treats always get it done. Treats.
No.
She likes treats.
Oh, this is very good for healing. If you have a dog, and anybody has a dog or cat, very good for healing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. So, and this kind of builds on our conversation about phases of healing. So my phase 1 went for about 2+ years, and I had a lot of great results, and I cleared my skin, and yeah, hey sweetie. The treat always brings her around.
He looks exactly like your dog.
Yeah, exactly. My first dog, because my pup's got a lot of retriever in her face, and they got the same blonde, their same creamy, cream colored blonde, and she's got the white fur underneath. Yeah. So yeah, she came into my life randomly. I wasn't looking for a dog, and my buddy rescued her, and he didn't have any room for her, and he asked me if I'd take her. And I got her. It was like just 2 months later, my body broke out into the really bad phase 2 for me. Was a really, really rough time. And so without her, I don't know if I would have made it through this last 6 years.
I know. It's like I had enough of these phases. Like I'm done with phase 2, and that's it.
Yeah. So when I mentioned by phasings for me is that I've noticed distinctly when my skin calms down either entirely or a lot, like it calms down and clears in many different places, and the redness goes away, and it's just kind of pink and white, or it'll clear completely, and then it will break out again. And when it did that the first time, I was of course very scared that well, no, this everything I'm doing is making it worse.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that. It's just another. It's just more that the body has to eliminate and get rid of. And so, and for me, I have my main issue is in my root canal, my tooth. So that was at the beginning of phase 2 too. My teeth were in pain. I had to have my wisdom teeth removed, and I told the dentist to remove that root canal tooth too. And that's when he found a cyst in there, found an infection in that root canal tooth,
Yeah.
and he released that. He opened it with a scalpel, and so needless to say, that was the beginning of a massive outbreak, the biggest outbreak of my life. So,
Oh,
and but these are what these phases are. I feel
yeah.
firmly, I think you share this sentiment that root canals and issues in the teeth are a cause of what's going on in the body that's driving this problems on the skin. You get infection in your mouth or your jaw
Yeah.
or a root canal where the body can't clear it out because it's a dead tooth. It can't do anything. The nerve has been removed, and your body just deals with these chronic byproduct of these infections going on in your deeper parts of your body, your bones, your jaw. And, my timeline all the way back to the beginning, before I had the tooth issue when I was a teenager and the root canal, I had beautiful skin all the way up until that point. I didn't have any concerns I didn't have acne. I didn't get the teenage acne. I didn't get any of that. My mom had me on a pretty clean diet. We didn't eat out a lot, and we ate, pretty clean in the house. And I didn't go through all the acne that many of my friends were going through until after the root canal. Then I had skin issues. I had acne, and then I had problems with rosacea, and then I had a knee surgery, and then psoriasis. So for me, it's firmly connected. And now going through my healing phases, after I had the teeth finally dealt with and I had the root canal removed, then my skin broke out again. But I feel that getting that tooth dealt with was fundamental to my progress forward. And if I wouldn't have had it dealt with, if I would have just told him to put a new crown on it, left it in my mouth, I don't think I would be as far along as I am now.
I had my 3 crowns done last year. That was my going to phase 2.
Yeah.
So after that,
So any warriors out there listening that are concerned about, I work with a lot of other warriors, of course, and I do surveys with each person so I can get a better idea on an individual plan. Your specific plan, customized and individualized based on the trauma you've been through and based on the surgeries you've had or what's been culminating to lead to psoriasis. And out of all those surveys, I see a distinct pattern of root canal or tooth surgery or dental surgery and complications from that preceding psoriasis starting or getting much worse. And that not just tooth, but also other surgeries in the body too can get infection in the surgery. And that infection's really hard to get rid of. So, and these symptoms of psoriasis, I think, are connected to that. So you're going through a phase 2. I said I'm on my phase 3. My phase 3 started in 2019. I've been improving consistently since that point. I know that was the worst point. So I know I'm better than I was at the beginning. So your phase 2, did psoriasis started to show up where it had cleared before, or did it show up in new places, or?
no, it showed up in the same spots. It seemed like, yeah.
Yeah. And so how long ago was that? Did that start?
That was last November. So yeah, I finished my crowns by September, October. I looked at my skin, so
Okay, so you had some you had some deep dental work done, or you had some crowns fixed.
Yeah, last time I had a lot of crowns going, 3 crowns. That would be done.
Yeah.
2 crowns here, 3 crowns in my teeth and my mouth. So it was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the pain wasn't that bad, but it was.
No, that's the thing. Is that sometimes the pain is not bad, especially if it's a root canal where the nerve is gone. You might not feel pain in the tooth, so you're like, oh, that's not a problem. I don't have a root canal. It's not a problem. But if you're having skin problems around that jaw, that's what happened to me after the root canal started to get infected in there. I just had really bad cystic acne come out, which is right there on your jaw. I know it's
Yeah.
attributed to a face issue on the skin, but it's also right there at the lymph nodes of your jaw.
Wow.
So it's, that it can, I feel you can assume that those are connected. So you kind of broke out after you had some teeth work done. So there's a little correlation there. And so over the last year, has it been spreading out, or has it been kind of clearing up a little bit and then spreading out, or how's it working?
Yeah, no, it's been cleared up, but I feel like I would have cleared up faster. Don't forget, we're going through a pandemic too, so it's like,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people out there more worse than us, and unfortunately, and still I've been clearing up. So I mean, like this November will be a year of healing, but it might take, a year past wintertime or spring till I heal now, because I probably would have been healed faster, but with the pandemic going on, a lot of stuff you can't get, a lot of stuff's backed up on back order. Could be
Yeah.
fruits, vegetables, could be organic celery, could be anything. A lot of stuff no one could get. Right? Had hard time getting. I'm sure you people know.
Yeah.
So everything's on back order. So, but maybe thankfully, I'm not worried about that. I was just like, you know what? When I heal, I heal. This, unfortunately, I lose patience sometimes. Matt knows that. I lose a lot of patience,
Yeah.
but we all do at some point.
Yeah. Patience is a skill you're building.
Yeah.
I think many of us come into this game not having much patience at all, but
Right.
we developed that as part of the practice.
So I had
Patience it's a virtue, as they say. It's a virtue because you can apply it. You have to apply it. You have to work on it. It doesn't. I don't think that's a talent. Patient. Maybe you have people who are naturally patient people, but I don't think that's a talent you're necessarily born with. I think it has a lot to do with how you're conditioned coming up, and a lot of us are conditioned to get the quick fix, get back to work, hammer, 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 get things done, do it on your own, and stop complaining or stop take whatever the case may be. But
right.
patience is built, and that's why I'm curious about your journal, because that's where a lot of my patience I've worked on is through writing out my thoughts. And
Right.
but like you mentioned you wrote in your journal, like, hey, my body needs time. I ended up writing that in my journal. I ended up writing the body needs fuel, sleep, movement,
Time,
peace, love,
love, everything.
and time. And the reason it needs time is because that's the mental construct that we've created that drives us nuts. We're constantly wanting the body to answer to, hey, how long is this going to take, and how long do I have to do this for? And the body has no idea of the clock. It has its own circular rhythms that it's functioning on. The rhythm of the sun, the balance of the planet. That's why I think the elements are so important, to get out and do a walk in nature a little bit, and to get a little bit of sunlight on your skin when you can, in the morning or the night or whenever you think you can.
Or
And
help,
as you're
working
drinking
out.
some water, and as you're taking in deep breaths, those are the elements just to really tap into.
I add on. I always do yoga, so I add on yoga.
Yes, yoga is such a big part of my practice. Exactly.
I do yoga. I do yoga online. So I go to the yoga studio. So I tape one of the
Nice.
ladies' classes, a woman's class. So if she's not doing the class, I have her class taped. I do the
Oh, there
class.
you go.
And I go back to my saved classes, and I do a yoga class. That's it.
Yeah, yoga is so nice. And that can, your breath work and meditation and mind work can be tied into yoga. You're stretching the body, you're having some nice thoughts, you're having all kinds of thoughts, but you're observing the thoughts as you stretch. You're trying to put a few deep breaths in with the thoughts, so you're not you're not making it's not making your heart race. You're just thinking about some gratitude. Like, I know I have these pressures and these stresses on my mind, but where are some things where I'm grateful for? I would say, you know, I'm grateful for the air going in my lungs and grateful to have access to clean water to drink. You can start that simple because that's something that we can be grateful for.
Right.
And, but writing your thoughts out, you know, especially the ones that really are hammering your mind, it can be that it can be just one thing you write over and over again. It doesn't have to be, you know, a poem or something, a story. It can be, a lot of the times it's a war cry. It's a mantra. It's something that you're working through and you're like, well, let me jot this down. And then it helps it alleviate off your mind. But yoga is great for alleviating.
Yeah.
It's great to start with in the morning before you get, like, you know, you're sitting in a chair driving. So it's high stress in a chair. You have these lives on your hands. You know,
Right.
you gotta be watching out for idiots at every turn that are looking at their phones and not paying. It's very high stress.
I
And
got
you're in the
yeah.
seated position the whole time, you know. So you got to get that body loose and stretched out, and you know, pull your shoulders back and arms above the head and release
Yeah.
the air and come down.
I do my stretching before I go to work. So yeah,
Yeah,
stretching
it's great.
at
And
work.
then if you feel not, you feel tight after work, you can do a session, you know, 20 minutes, 10 minutes if you need to. That's when I like to
Yeah.
kind of take the sunset, my walk, you know, a little sunset and do the walk, get the dog on the line.
Yeah.
She's super happy just to be outside, and I'm like, yeah, I'm super happy just to be outside.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm just as simple, you know, as she is. It's keeping it simple is the way to go. And you know, and especially at first, any warriors listening, that don't put a lot of pressure on yourself here. You can't go into natural healing putting the same pressure on yourself that you might put on yourself in the other parts of your life
Yeah.
that create stress in your life, you know.
Right.
You can't make this a stressful process too. This has to be a process that alleviates stress. So
Yeah.
if something's particularly is feeling like a huge hurdle, then just leave that out for now. If the juicing that we've talked about, if celery juicing it just seems like it's too much to get going right now, then okay, well, just get a water bottle and take some walks outside and take some deep breaths, and know that we're here to support you at every step of the way.
Yeah. Right.
That's what Steve and I have done for each other. That's what this whole group is based on, is people trying to figure out this wicked labyrinth known as psoriasis. And that's individual. Each one of us has an individual journey there, but we
Right.
come together as a tribe, share some wisdom, and say, hey man, yeah, I'm doing this too. Look at my cooler. Look, I'm freezing this stuff because I don't have the time either in the morning. It can be
Yeah.
done, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I went to Hershey Park a couple years ago. So I had to bring. I couldn't eat the food over there, so I went with my friends. Me and my wife and friends went with kids, and I brought a cooler along with me. And that cooler, I was like, why you bring another cooler? I have to. I need my wild berries in the morning to go to the bathroom. I need my frozen celery juice. I have my frozen celery juice in the cooler. I have my heavy metal detox in the cooler. I might have like some organic like turkey burgers in there, or just I can have a little turkey burgers once in a while. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But at least I'm having everything clean and organic. Like if I'm going to the restaurant at Hershey Park, yeah, they have stuff there, some stuff there organic, salads, chicken. But I go up to the hotel, I have something I know I can trust that's clean that I made. It's in my cooler. I feel good about it, and I bring my skills with me. I bring my protocol with me.
Yeah.
I don't want. I have to have my celery juice. I have to have my heavy metal detox. I need my wild blueberries. I might not find it over there in Hershey Park. At least it's in the cooler. We're driving there. By the time we get there, it's still fresh because it's frozen.
Yeah, yeah,
That's,
yeah. That just
so
gives them
yeah.
time to thaw out, and then you got your nutrients ready to go.
On top of that, I got my lemon water. I got 2 or 3 lemon waters in there, same size bottles.
One for each morning,
Well,
or what? Yeah, each day
yeah,
you're gonna be there.
yeah, we're there for 3 or 4 days. And if I eat something, if I go to a restaurant, I'll eat my own food, and maybe I'll get a salad in the park. Yeah, I can cheat a little bit. I'm on vacation. So a little chicken, who cares?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm still cleansing. I'm not leaving out the cleansing in the morning. I'll still get my cleansing done.
yeah,
I always like, my buddy's like, oh, Steve, you're doing great. You healed up nicely. You like bringing a cooler? Yeah, you're crazy, man. I like this guy. This guy's a warrior because you know, he don't hold nothing back. Me and my friends
Well,
say that.
you stand out.
Yeah,
You built your courage and your bravery is building, and you have your practice with you to have a good conversation with someone about. They don't have psoriasis, they might not have any conditions that, and they might be totally
yeah,
fine. But raising awareness for them in the sense that just leading by your example,
yeah,
and them seeing that it's improving all parts of your life, and they can say, well, maybe I can improve my life. And the
yeah,
conversation is deeper, instead of a conversation that we all try to run away from when we're just a
yeah,
victim of psoriasis and it's happening to us, and we're trying to hide our skin from people, and if they bring it up, it's a frustrating, it's a deeply depressing thing to deal with. But now when it comes up, and people are like, oh man, Matt, that's a bad sunburn on your legs, man. I'm
yeah,
like, well, it's not a sunburn, it's psoriasis, and actually, I'm working on it. And if you're interested in the work, let's chat. And some people are, some people aren't. But at least I have courage in my conversation that I'm making now. As before, I just was angry. If somebody, I would be looking at their eyes, looking at me, and assuming that they're thinking about my skin. They might not even be thinking about my skin, but I was just really destroying myself with all that assuming they are thinking, feeling judged, that other people are judging me because of the flakes on the ground or whatever, but I'm judging me. That was the biggest problem. And it still is in many facets of my life. I'm still working on lowering down all that judgment of myself and how I can improve, or where I'm not good enough, or that's what I do a lot in my journals, is just trying to put to words the journey. And
yeah,
that's all the words that I've shared online too, on my blog and in this awesome group, is just sharing the journey. And I hope that everybody else can feel empowered to do that too in this group. And reach out to us, moderators too, and give us, but shoot a post in the group and speak about anything, because it's all important. It's all part of healing when it comes to psoriasis, how we treat ourselves mentally just as well as physically
that's right,
and emotionally. Just be good to ourselves. We got a lot of pressure, we got a lot of stress, like Steve said. We've all had to deal with this pandemic the last 2 years now, and that's not gonna slow down. So less is more, and
yeah,
be good to yourself. This stuff we talk about, that we do, these skills we're building, it's about being good to our bodies. There's love here. We're doing this out of love, not just to get rid of this awful skin condition, but also you feel the love when you consume these things that Steve, we talked about today. You feel so good. Your body speaks in the feeling. I was telling you the last phone call, the body just knows one word. It's yes. If
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah,
say yes, it means no, but it doesn't have to have a word for no too. But when you put the nutrients in that make your body start to heal, you feel the yes that it's telling. It feels good, but there's also pain involved. This is the ultimate It's just the ultimate challenge, because there's good feelings and there's also feelings of pain when your body's working through its issues, and our minds are just attaching to that pain. And so one part of the
yeah.
warrior's path is to work on a detachment from pain,
Oh
because
no, look,
it's chronic for us. We have to deal with pain all the
yeah,
time. So the mental construct around pain is what we have a choice over.
music is good. So music is good for the mind, body. I do a lot. I have my earpiece at work, so I'm listening to music while I'm doing my thing in the school.
Yeah, music is
Working.
nice. Yeah. I like
Yeah, nice.
I was telling you about some energy music I put on in the morning. It's not so much people singing the lyrics, but it's got nice vibes and tones that help you if you're doing a meditation or your yoga work. It's nice to go along
Yeah,
with. And then you have different types of music for different activities you like. Music
yeah. I
is
can.
music is good.
I have music. I'd have music on when I'm in the school, working in the school, doing my. And they're like, hey Steve, they see me singing around or walking around the school singing, singing the songs. Steve, give me a hand doing this in the classroom. Yeah, no problem. So I feel have my music going. I just do what I got to do to help out the teachers in the classroom. You know, and I'm like doing custodian work. Moving furniture,
Yeah.
fixing the air conditioning, heating. stuff in the school. You know, I got to do all that stuff with
Yeah.
meeting the kids in there. The kids are always saying, "Hey, Steve, how are you? How was your summer?" So
Yeah.
it's great to whatever job you have. You know, what else it could be stressful, but it's so rewarding when you see everybody when you're working with the people at work,
Yeah.
kids wise, teachers, and you know, seeing everybody at work. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's job's different. Sometimes jobs can be hard. It's annoying, stressful.
Yeah.
But so rewarding when you see everybody and they're like, hey, you look great, and how was your summer, stuff like that.
Yeah.
How was your summer and stuff like that. Some people that I don't know, some of you people out there, teachers or it could be custodians or working in a food chain. Just seeing, I'm always around positive people. 'Cause at work, in a working environment, there's always negative people too. And
Yeah.
those negative people want to try to get the positive people, bring them down.
Yeah.
They, they say,
Well,
bro,
I,
yeah,
yeah, I assume this is an assumption of mine, but a lot of negativity being expressed out is being driven
yeah,
by pain and despair inside,
they might say,
and the group is like that. We're all coming into this group dealing with pain and frustration and anger and depression, and I just plead with you, just take a deep breath before you reply to someone or jump on someone
yeah,
online, or you're about to preach to them and tell them what they're doing wrong. Just remember that a softer hand is always sweeter. It always goes further, and it's good training for us. Like, even being in this group is good social training for us, how to treat each other, how to treat strangers that are also warriors in arms, and
uh,
and appreciating that. I think we're very similar, all of us humans. We're very similar in many ways. We have a lot of things that divide us, and culturally maybe, or even just geographical barriers, but now not really, because we're all together online. So the barriers are breaking down. Now it's just our own psychological and emotional barriers to ourselves and others. That's being shown on display now because the internet connects us all. So it's training for us to feel connected and feel the oneness with everyone, I always have gratitude that this technology has brought us together, that Steve and I are sitting here right now chatting with each
yeah.
other and with all is due to this really amazing technology. And
People, I help, people that might say, they might say, Steve, you look too skinny or you look fit. What diet are you doing? Can you help me out with that diet? What are you drinking? Yeah, some of the teachers, I told them, hey, you can start off with celery juice. I mean, lemon water first. Oh, I'll try doing lemon water, and then try celery juice. A couple months later, say, hey, Steve, thank you very much. It helped me out. Help me out with my digestion. All right, I'm glad I helped you out.
like, and you can tell them, this is helping you out for the rest of your life. The fact
yeah,
that you all are doing this just, for weight loss or something like that, and you're seeing the
yeah,
results, you're also, this is preventative, that
yeah,
magic phrase in medicine, preventative medicine. That's what we natural healing warriors are doing as well. Is, yeah, we have a specific goal in mind of course, focused on our skin, but I feel strongly that we're also being preventative towards cancers and blood diseases and heart problems down the road, and those terrible
yeah,
things that just end our life prematurely, and that we might be shocked happened. But this is preventative of all of that stuff. It's also active when you can use it to heal yourself from a condition you're already battling, like we're already
help,
battling.
right, help
So,
other people heal too.
and then all the
Yeah,
medications we took before for the condition, we're also helping the body eliminate that stuff. And that takes years to get out. I mean, I put so many gallons of steroids on my skin over a 10-year period. I'm probably still eliminating that stuff. Uh,
yeah, steroids,
yeah,
yeah,
it
steroids,
just, I always feel strong. I feel confident in this, is that, it took a long time to get this ill. It's going to take a good long time to heal completely. But, you know, if you take the emphasis off of that, well, how long, and move the mind towards this, well, this is helping me in so many ways. So it's not like, how long do I have to do this juicing for? It's, I love the process of juicing for good. I'm not thinking about the finish line when it comes to what I do to help myself. This is just part of my lifestyle, and humans are creatures of habit. We do really well when we have routines and some structure, but we're left to creatively fill in that structure. You know, not so much structure and conformity where we're all doing X, Y, Z. What's the diet? What's the diet? It's not that. It's having a little bit of structure and routine to then creatively fill in your intuition into that, to what works for you. Like this, you know, we've been talking for years, Steve, and I just now, thanks to this call, seeing how you actually freeze your juice and freeze your smoothie and you have it ready to go. You know, that's how you're creatively filling in to the structure. You know, you had some tips to follow, and now you've built a lifestyle of your own that's positively influencing other people. That's wonderful, and that's coming out of psoriasis. So there's even an insane gratitude for psoriasis itself. I don't know where I would be in my life physically, health-wise, if I wouldn't have had to deal with something that forced my hand. I don't know. I never really think about that. And what I work towards thinking less about is, well, how many more phases do I have to deal with? And now I've gotten to a point where I really don't think about that. And then a lot of the guilt lowers down, because I feel guilty, like, well, I shouldn't have done that one thing or eaten that one thing. It slowed down my progress or stopped my progress. And I'm not thinking about how fast do I want to get it done. I'm not guilting myself about, well, this slowed me down so much. So I'm not worried about speed. It's fast, slow, right? It's just wholesome. It's just wholesomeness.
Yeah.
It's just out of love for myself. That's all.
Yeah, sometimes that with me, that goes in my head with the speed of getting healed. It messes me up sometimes.
Yeah.
But when I'm talking to you about doing this podcast, makes me feel better.
Exactly.
You know, I'll heal and I heal. That's it. You know,
exactly. And I'll heal when I heal, and along the way, along this path of healing, so many others are healing too, and so many others are going through things that I can't even fathom myself, and I know that they're going through them. One of my dear friends that helps me, you know, she's going through something. It's so bad and so deep, you know, and I'm just I need to be there for her. Beyond just trying to give her advice, you know, just need to be there for her and let her feel my energy. She's fighting through this, and we're gonna, you know, as we expose ourselves to more of us, we're gonna have to expose ourselves to more of the trauma and the pain that everybody's going through. That's why it's important how we treat each other. But it's that gets better when you work on treating yourself with love, more care, more love, instead of, I'm not good enough, I got to get more done in my day. It's, hey, I got this stuff done in my day, and I'm good with that. I'm good with what I'm accomplishing. So cool, man. Thanks for chatting with me, and I know this will be helpful for others, and we'll do another one, of course. Just one of many Warrior Wisdom Tribe talks.
Oh yeah, we have to do more of this. This was awesome.
Yeah, we'll do it. You know, do it on a schedule, and you know, it's just you and I in this one. But I think you know, I can add more people. So next time we'll add a few more people, and I'll see if some more people want to join, and just have little group conversations about the experience. You know, to get people a better understanding of what a day in the life of a warrior is like. It's you know, we're not in here preaching some cure or some specific supplement, and you're going to get a lot of advice from a lot of people when you ask in here in this group. So take that in slowly. When you're getting a lot of advice and people are telling you, eat this, not that, and I do this, I don't do that, take it as a whole. Write down the notes from everybody's protocols and practices they do. That's the structure that I talked about. Now you creatively fill in that structure with, how is this going to work for me? What do I like? What are the 5 fruits that I'd like to eat? Start there. Journal about that stuff.
I have that in my notes where in the group I copy and paste something, tells you everything. It'll say, this will help me heal 100%. Now I'm going through phase 2. So it'll help that person out in the group, and they'll see everything, what I did. So it's a big list of stuff. They'll know from step by step what I did.
Yeah, and they can pull from that what they can get access to, what works for
Yeah,
them. And then
yeah,
as you get stronger, you can add more stuff in. As you get more
yeah,
into a habit-based lifestyle of this, you'll keep adding stuff. I mean,
yeah.
you'll keep adding stuff. You'll find new recipes. And Medical Medium has a lot of nice recipes in his books. If you really want to go for recipes and making really creative meals for you and the family, I'm more so an individual, eating for myself when it comes to this. So I don't do as many of the recipes, but I will more in my life. But you can get very creative and colorful with the help with
Yeah.
healing foods too. And then,
Oh, it's very good. The recipes are good.
and
His
the
recipes
last
are
thing is
amazing.
for me, I'm an 80-20 guy. That's how I approach the diet. So 80% of what I put in my body every day is for my healing practice, especially in the morning, like we talked about. The morning's most important. And then I give myself 20% of my diet to eat. Now, of course, I have a lot of skills and everything's in moderation. But if I go out on a Thursday and have a couple beers with my buddy, I'm not. I allow myself to have a couple beers. I'm not. Uh, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm not anything, but we all have a very unique way of approaching this. I don't want anybody to not start a healing diet because they're like, well, I'm not going to be able to drink again. That's not true. It's not about, you can go have the beer, go have a glass of wine. Don't let your social life fall apart if some parts of it are built around having a cocktail with a friend.
Well,
You let your habits change it over time. You'll build something in
that's
there
like
and but
one
don't
or
let it
two,
stop you from starting healing.
like one or two beers. So you got like everything should be gluten free. So I might have Bud Light Seltzer, which is everybody knows probably Bud Light Seltzer or uh, Michelob Seltzer is out there, Chlor, all that,
Yeah,
all that
for like
beer.
exactly. You have some paradigms you're strong on, like gluten free
Yeah,
or this, processed sugar free. So you'll
Chlor,
find creative drinks all the time. They are
uh,
available. You can
like
uh
uh, and once in a while I have this. So, true,
these are like
yeah, like
we're doing warrior
truly,
confessions now.
you got with true. This is gluten free, so you got one or two of these doesn't mean you're having it every night. Like
Oh
one
yeah.
or, one or two of these is like a Friday night, maybe a Saturday night or a
Yeah.
Sunday. But one or two,
Yeah.
and here is 5% alcohol, and the sugar content is like you probably know if you read it, there's really no sugar. No, 1 gram of sugar. So it's like one
Yeah.
gram. So this is this sugar is not good for you, but it's like 1 gram. It's not like it's 20 or 30 grams of sugar.
That's a spectrum of things that are not
Yeah,
good for us. But if you want to,
yeah,
but if that's stopping someone from starting, like, well, I'm not gonna, I can't do this diet. I like to
oh,
have a drink on Friday nights. Like you can do the diet and have a drink on Friday nights, or
yeah.
you can do.
I'll have a little organic red wine. Yeah, this is good shit. But a glass, a nice small glass of organic wine is not a big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
It's not
Oh,
a big deal. It's the big deal is what we're adding in so the body can heal. If you're not
right.
adding
Well,
in nutrients the body needs as building blocks to get the job done, if you're not fueling the vehicle, then the vehicle's not going down the road. You can't
yeah,
just take out the bad gas from the car and say, okay, I've taken out the bad gas, now I'm going to drive. You got to add fuel. And and that's what really I'm all about. Just addition, adding
yeah.
things in as you can that makes sense for you. And oh, you mentioned Steve too. I want to touch on this. You mentioned that one of your challenges is you said your friends you have lost weight or you're losing weight. And you're curious about adding weight back on
Oh,
and keeping weight on.
yeah, yeah.
And you know, I mean, I think the body has to shed down that weight. A lot of the healing processes is getting rid of visceral fats, and you might have been
Yeah,
thin coming in, so that these fats aren't necessarily make us obese, but they're still around our organs and they have to get cleaned out. And when that happens, you lose weight. But for working out or for trying to add weight back on, you can certainly increase your portions, and like you said, you can have a piece of salmon for lunch. If you think, if people are animal proteins is how people gain weight, then you could put some of that in. You can try some legumes,
yeah,
peas and some beans in your protein. or pea protein. I wouldn't put that in your
Oh,
smoothie, but if you wanted to add some of that, but you eat some of
yeah,
the
I have
starchies
that.
too. You have potatoes, and those stick to your bones
Bananas,
too.
bananas,
Yeah.
and papaya. It's high in fat, but it's like fruit,
Papaya.
but fruit-wise,
It's a good
papaya.
word. That's a good one. Yeah. Papaya is a good one.
Papaya is great for your skin too. Papaya it helps to heal the
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah.
It helps heal the intestinal, the
Yeah.
lower intestines. Yeah.
But I also feel that humans, we're genetically built to be rather thin. We're our natural weights. I'm at 6'2", my natural weight's 180, and I'm pretty much
Yeah.
at 180 now. And that's considered thin. But you should see some. I mean, I think we're genetically built to be thin, musculoskeletal,
Yeah.
carbon life forms. So weight loss is a natural part of healing. If you're thin coming into this and you're concerned about losing even more weight, I wouldn't be concerned with that. As long as you're feeling good and your bowel movements are good, and you're peeing good and all that stuff's
Yeah.
going fine, your skin's improving, not just your skin, but your whole body's improving, then your body weight, your body will handle that. It will manage that. Like when I first started healing, I was focused on pH. I was doing some pH strips and balancing my pH and acid versus alkaline balance. And I realized
Yeah.
over time, like, this is just driving me nuts because it's all over the map. And then my body balances the pH. It takes care of it, and it changes a lot because my body's going through stuff a lot. So to try and measure it, same thing with body weight. Is to try and measure it at one point in time in a circular, chaotic process is going to be challenging. But weight loss is part of it.
Lemon water.
Healthy weight loss is just part of this
Yeah.
protocol. You're going to lose weight. You're going to
Your
lose
whole body,
fat weight.
your body will get alkaline from lemon water, spinach, watermelon. That's all water.
Yeah,
Your body
that all helps the body reach the homeostasis. It's using
my
all those nutrients, but it's using them in the combination
I
that
can tell
it needs.
my body alkaline level is perfect because I'm like a light yellow when I go to the bathroom.
Yeah. So you're
so
filtering, yeah.
I'm filtering great. My water was, I was filtering so good, and my pee could have been white one time. that's too much alkaline.
But that is a good point. Seeing the color of your urine when it goes in the toilet is to make sure your kidneys are functioning. Because if it is coming out fully clear, then your kidneys probably need more electrolytes, coconut water, some fruits, some watermelon, some grapes, to help it with the filtration of the lymph fluid.
Yeah, dark yellow. Plus, your arms look like your veins are popping out of your arms. Means you're hydrated. Because I work out too, but. When people say, "Oh, your veins are popping out because you're not getting enough carbs." No, my body's hydrated. People don't know that. Body's hydrated well.
They're a nice color too, like a blue and green color. It's just they're pumping, man.
The doctor's like, "Yeah, Steve, you're really hydrated." It's like, wow, your body's hydrated. So I can check your blood, no problem.
Yeah, you're just a fish over there, just a fish out of water, feeling good, feeling loose.
But they say, hydrated. The other day, doctors say, "Oh, yeah, you're a little skinny. You can put some weight on, but you're fit. You're nice and fit."
Yes.
You're fit. You're well built. So.
Yeah, exactly. You're well built, and you could, if you needed to, you could run right now. You have a good level of oxygen. Your muscles are ready. You're stretched out from the yoga. You're feeling limber a lot.
Yeah.
You're ready to roll.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well,
awesome.
This has been a great talk. We'll do it again. Warriors out there, like I said, all my resources you can get from phwarrior.com. But rely on us here in the group. You can search in the group. Many things have been talked about in this group. So search the keyword that you're thinking on your mind and see all the conversations around that. But Steve, much love, mad respect, more healing, man. We'll talk again. We'll talk again soon.
You, man.
Yeah, man.
Everyone stay positive. We'll all heal together.
Yeah, exactly. We're all in this together. Exactly.
We'll together. It was great.
No, you're not alone, warriors. None of you are alone. You join this group. We are real people, like Steve and I are showing you today. We're real people. We're building this into our lives. We have our stresses. We have this terrible pandemic. We're all learning how to be stronger humans out of this. Let's just be good to each other. Show love. Show love.
That could be another discussion for another day.
Yeah, exactly. Just coming out of this peacefully. Yeah. Cool, man. All right, Steve. Have a good
Yeah.
weekend, man. Enjoy your Labor
You
Day.
too, man. No,
All
much
right.
love, guys. To everyone. Still on, Team Warriors.